What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope everyone's back from the weekend all rested and feeling good like I am. Got a lot of good stuff to cover today, including some up and down weekend price action. More importantly, what are the prices going to do this week? I'm expecting a little bit of a pump. I'll explain why in a little bit. Plus other news on other coins. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow. Before we begin, later in the week, I'll be doing a one-off special episode on who the real Satoshi Nakamoto might be. I'll be going over all the individual candidates, who the most likely one is, what the pros and cons of each candidate possibly being Satoshi Nakamoto is. So that'll be kind of an old school episode right there, and it ties in with one of the stories a little bit later today, one of the daily news stories. So that's why I think it's a good time to do a video on that. Plus, it's a little bit slow in the summer. So let's dive into the, so that'll be maybe Wednesday or Thursday, expecting that. Let's dive into the price action here. So pretty flat as usual on the weekend. Had this little up and then down on Sunday. That was late Saturday. It looks like somebody kind of bought. Prices went up from 23.8 to 24.2. Then maybe a liquidation happened on the short side. Went up a little more to 24.6. Stayed there for about 6 hours, and then this little sell-off happened as usual Sunday, late Saturday, and prices kind of remained around then, around 23.6 since then. Right now they're at 23.2. This is normal Sunday, Monday price action. Tuesday pump is the big thing. Hopefully we'll get one this week. I am banking on a lot of altcoin teams having increased activity, a lot of announcements, partnerships, stuff like that happening this week because they put all that off last week during the interest rate announcements because good news might have been buried in the news of that if there was a price decrease. There wasn't. There was a price increase, but still I'm expecting a lot of altcoin activity this week. That could pump the markets. So here's the 3-month chart for Bitcoin. So again, it's, very shaky confidence here, but it's going up, so it's looking pretty good here. This was the big drop from 30 to 23, and then this is around 2 months, so up slightly, so it's going in the right direction. It's, still on shaky ground, so a one-off nuke or a one-off black swan event could easily cascade the market, but it's definitely trending in the right direction. Each week builds a little bit more price resistance, a little more price confidence, whatever you want to call it, and I don't see any major events in August that could nuke the market, so I am very bullish. I'm thinking about 75-80% confidence that price is going to keep going up, but I think this week could have a big Tuesday pump for the reasons I just let out. Also, prices have sort of tested the 24,000 price resistance the last 2 weeks, so I think if we can break through that, if we can break through 24.5, then we'll shoot straight up very quickly to 27, 28. Let's cross our fingers there. So yeah, just some more bullish headlines. This second straight week, Bitcoin closed a bullish weekly candlestick. If you don't remember, it was only a couple months ago where we had, 9 straight weeks of red candlesticks, meaning the start of the week prices were higher than at the end of the week. Now we have 2 straight positive weeks. So we're starting small, but this is how you slowly build your way up to bull runs. More good headlines. Bitcoin rises 19% in July, and best trading month since late last year. So this is the single best trading month since October of last year. So that's pretty good. 19% up in 1 month. That's good. People still feel bearish, but the trends have shifted. More good news. Record $474 million flowed into crypto markets in July. Will it change the sentiment? So these are the crypto index funds. July had a record inflow, so it was the highest month in 2022 with inflows of $474 million. So this is mostly institutional money, so institutional mainstream whales or large-size investors are very bullish, so sentiment has changed since the Terra and 3AC debacle a while ago. Green fear, this is also good. It's still in the fear zone, but it's at 39. You'll remember it was at 6 a month ago, and it trended between 6 and 15, 20 for the longest time. Now I think we even got the 40s late last week. The green fear, see, it's trending up significantly. This is the 3-month chart right here, and it has just been trending up the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So shaky ground. We're not at spikes yet, but to get to the real significant spikes, we have to build week after week after week of just slow, steady increases. That builds the confidence, and then hopefully we'll get some bigger spikes later. More bullish news. Ether derivative trading is surging as large hedge funds speculate on the merge. So aggregate open interest of Ether options across the top exchanges increased. This is pretty good, from 2.7 billion on July 2nd, a month ago, to over 7 billion on July 29th, a couple days ago. So that's a $5 billion increase in Ether open options. So that's mostly good. Money flowing in is always good. Obviously, a lot of leverage on the markets means heavy volatility in either direction, but I would have to assume that this is mostly more bullish long option open interest trading here because the merge of the bullish event is happening in 2 months. So a lot of people, these traders probably see it as a zero risk kind of trade. The momentum's only going to build going into the merge September 19th. So prices for Ethereum can't really go down. So they might as well put a lot of money in then. They might even still go up afterwards. Ethereum's Vitalik said last week he doesn't think it's going to be a price in effect. We're right at the merge. Then that's the end of the price increases. He's predicting prices to keep going up. I think he said 4, 5, 6 months. So it's these traders here, they're putting a lot of leverage in because they don't know how high it's going to go, but they just see the trade as being low risk with very little downside because Ethereum isn't going to crash before the merge 6 weeks out. Of course, a few people are still going to be bearish right now. Here's BitBoy thinks the chart's misleading. By the end of the year, this chart will look very different. We will get a generational bottom entry, just not yet. Crypto Whale, we will 100% be able to buy Bitcoin below 20,000 again. So, there's people on both sides, but a lot of the big influencers, for whatever reason, are bearish. I don't know why. In the 2018 bear run, that didn't happen. There are only 1 or 2 of them, and now it just kind of seems like the trendy thing for the big influencers to be bearish, but everyone has their opinion. That's fine. I always get a little shaky when I see people talking in absolute 100% sort of confidence about a price direction, because that's just not the way the markets work. As I said, top stock traders are only right 62-63% of the time. In crypto, it's probably around there, maybe even a little bit less. So no one really knows with certainty. That's why I think 75-80% we're going to keep going up. There's always the risk of a nuke or a huge black swan event that will crash the market, but the positive reaction to the interest rate announcement last week, that shows that the regular macro events like that, interest rates, aren't really affecting the market negatively anymore. So I would, respectfully sort of disagree with these absolute bearish sentiments, but again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Some news for the day. FDIC reiterates that it does not insure crypto. So this was a big issue back in 2017-18. It was more of an issue then. Back then, people weren't really aware that crypto assets were not insured. Like if you have money on exchanges and you lose it, it gets hacked, or a DeFi platform with staking and then you lose the money there, like in a Celsius debacle. Back then, people were first learning that it's not insured by the FDIC. It's generally not insured by the companies either, the exchanges. That's just part of the risks of crypto. Now that talk has sort of dissipated a little bit just because it's 4 or 5 years later, but the FDIC is reminding people again that they do not insure crypto the way they insure banks for a lot of, not everything, but for some things in certain cases. But if you use exchange or a DeFi platform, you lose your money, it's not insured by the FDIC. So it's just sort of a reminder thing here. Some more news. Craig Wright awarded £1 billion in damages, £1 billion damages in false Bitcoin libel case. A high court judge has concluded that Peter McCormack, that's a crypto influencer, caused serious harm to Craig Wright's reputation after he questioned Wright's claim that Wright created Bitcoin. So, because Peter McCormack, he called him a fraud, a liar on his YouTube show or his podcast. Specifically, he said he's an effing liar, he's a fraud, he's a moron, he's not Satoshi. It's centered around, it sounds like these two guys don't really like each other, but see Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, nobody really knows who he is. Craig Wright is one of the possibilities, is one of the 4 or 5 possibilities. Peter McCormack obviously does not think he is the real guy, and there appears to be something personal here, so he called him an effing liar on his podcast. This was in 2019. Craig Wright sued him, so Craig Wright won in court. So Peter McCormack pays a pretty big £1 billion for that. But yeah, so just tying in with this, I also will be doing my Who is Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't really have a preference myself. There's a lot of possibilities. One of them might be a little bit more likely than the other. But you can kind of bring back that sort of old school style video later in the week. Summertime's a little bit slow. Got to come up with some more unusual stuff, and Craig Wright is one of them. So I'll be outlining the pros and cons of the chances of him being Satoshi. There are both. And then again, I won't really conclude who is at the end, but I will give the evidence to each individual person. So that'll be a fun video later in the week. TRON becomes the second largest public blockchain by stablecoin market cap. TRON's TVL surpassed the their total transfer value has surpassed the 5 trillion mark, and then their TVL has surpassed 11 billion, making them the second or the third biggest public chain by TVL. I think they're right about equal to the Binance Smart Chain, and then both of those two are behind Ethereum. So TRON, they kind of quietly sort of capitalized with Terra going down. The Terra ecosystem was their big rival back in the day. Then, well, we all know what happened with Terra, so TRON sort of quietly replaced that and is doing well. On CZ, he's pointing out here that Binance's crypto deposits have increased steadily over the past few months and years and now number one in size. So normally this headline wouldn't really be that relevant, but as we all know, a lot of people were taking their money off crypto exchanges the last few months after the Celsius debacle, after the Terra debacle, after Voyager, all that stuff. So people were getting them, balance on exchanges went down significantly. So the fact that one exchange, Binance, their amount on exchanges has increased during that bear market phase, specifically in response to DeFi problems, that's pretty remarkable right there. It's very impressive for Binance. CZ. That's it for today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button in the bottom right corner. That helps the channel a lot. And then follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow. I'll be back with a new episode tomorrow. Until then, this is Ben, signing out. Catch you later.